Hello and welcome to part 2 of our Russia 2018 preview. And as you can see, today we're going to be looking at groups B and C. It's a double bill, so plenty to look forward to. I'm today joined once again by Steve from Scout Football. Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you. Pleasure to be here again.
Good stuff. And if you enjoyed what we talked about yesterday, then please do go and check out the Scout Football channel. You can find it on Twitter.
Twitter is pretty much the main thing.
Is that the only place?
Yeah, that's the only thing at the moment, but go check us out, yeah.
Some really good stuff on there, particularly if you want to find out more about under-23s and who the next emerging stars are in world football. Scout Football's the place to go. But today, as I said, we're going to go through groups B and C. And like I said yesterday, we're going to pick out some absolute gems here. And if you want to go and manage them yourself, then the only place you can do it really is Football Manager. And the good news is that it's now on sale at up to 66% off. So beautiful weather outside, go and download FM and enjoy it when the football's not on. And as I also mentioned yesterday, we've also got giveaways going on throughout the tournament on the Football Manager Instagram. So go and check that out as well. We're going to be giving away prizes pretty regularly, so you'll have plenty of chances to win and bag yourself some goodies. But we've got two groups to get through. There's a lot of players to discuss, so should we jump straight into it?
Let's jump into it.
So Group B, it's a pretty... On paper, there's two teams in there who you'd think to go through, and one of the players who I think will really shine in this group is Marco Asensio. Now, he's someone, obviously, I think most of us will be familiar with his performances at the very elite level of European competition. He's got all the key attributes that you expect out of someone who's going to go on and have a great career in the game, and there's every chance. He may not start, but he may come off a bench for his nation and really have an impact for them.
Yeah, I definitely think he'll come off the bench at least for the first two games, and depending on how they go, he could have a chance to start in the last group game and maybe work himself into the starting 11, depending on what happens further into the tournament.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a quality player, quick, so good on the ball, a goal threat, just all round.
He's got everything, hasn't he?
Yeah, he really doesn't really have many weaknesses, and with his speed, not a liability defensively. He can help with the pressing, especially when he'll probably play out wide if he comes on.
Yeah,
stretch the defense, pressure them late in games when people are getting tired. He's just fantastic player.
In FM, if you can go and sign him in Football Manager, then you're onto an absolute winner straight away. His stats, he's got 18 for finishing, 18 for long shots, 18 for technique. He's world class
and he's experienced. And
he's experienced.
And has scored big goals in big games in his career already. So
he is. He has. This may not be. He may not get a chance to really,
take over,
but he's got a chance to shine in this tournament. And then by the time another 4 years, he could be almost the main man. Yeah, exactly. And so, keep an eye out. If not at international level yet, then he's definitely going to be there. I think in 4 years' time.
Definitely.
So Andre Silva's the next player we're going to come on and talk about, and he's someone who struggled in Italy this year at club level, but his goal record at international level is nothing short of sensational. And he's had a really impressive qualifying campaign, and I think that if he could just carry that across to the main tournament, he's got every chance of potentially rediscovering that form ahead of the next season, and it's quite a big tournament for him. Yeah,
so he definitely did struggle in Italy this season, struggled for routine minutes, struggled for goals in the league especially.
Yeah.
But he's definitely his nation's second biggest goal threat as a foil. Plays up front, links the attack together. He's actually quite good as a creative threat as well as an excellent finisher and goal scorer. So he's going to be hugely important.
Yeah, if you look at his stats on Football Manager, you've got 15 for finishing is one of his best stats actually. And so if you're looking for a goal scorer, that's the first place you look is finishing. He's pretty good on the ball as well. He's got good first touch, decent dribbler, 13 for dribbling, decent in the air at 14. So he gives you lots of options in terms of how to get the ball in the back of a net, and that's something that I think a few teams may be lacking. So he could potentially stand out in that area.
Yeah, he's a good all-round player that links the attack together.
Yeah.
And can do a bit of everything, and that's always nice to have in your team. And it gives you a lot of flexibility from an attacking standpoint.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is one of two sides in the group are potentially not the best defensively, so he should get chances to show what he can do, and that may give him the confidence to grow into the tournament, and who knows, potentially even end up in the Golden Boot equation later on.
Definitely, and he's got goal scoring pedigree. Even though it was against some of the lesser nations that he scored a lot of his goals against in qualifying, he definitely has the capability of hitting hat-tricks. Yeah. He is that kind of player that when he gets going, when he's got his confidence and when he's finishing well, he can score a heap of goals.
So let's move on to talk about Hakeem Dziak, and he's someone who I think certainly Football Manager fans will be quite aware of. He's someone who routinely does very well on FM, and someone who, I mean, I've benefited from in my saves. He scored some massively important goals for me. He's such a good, technically gifted player, and he's pretty much his country's leading hope, isn't he? I mean, he's a creative force, but he can also score goals where it matters for his nation as well.
Yeah, he's another one of those players that's going to be linking everything together.
Yeah.
As you said, really, really good technically. He loves to shoot from outside the box, maybe too much at times. And he's also a player that's vying for a move throughout this tournament, so he'll really be looking to impress.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's been on the radar, I think, of a few of the bigger clubs in Europe for quite a while, and what better chance to put your name out there than doing it on the international stage. And if you look at his stats, I mean, as we said, technically gifted, but he's pretty much an all-rounder. I mean, he's got 15 for corners, 15 for free kick taking, so he adds that dimension as well. 16 for agility, so he's going to be tough to catch for defenders as well. 15 for acceleration, 16 for passing, 16 for technique. So he's got really, really good stats across the board. And obviously, he's still young, and he can really, really be the key, I think, for his team, and potentially they're going to have to perform well, I think, to oversee the top two favourites in that group. But he could be the key to do so. And like you say, he can also bring players in around him.
He'll be leading a very fluid attack. They've got a fluid attack where players will be interchanging, moving around a lot. So he will be the person that will be dictating that, especially with his passing ability.
Yeah. And he's also used to having quite a fluid attack at club level as well. So he's used to playing in that sort of system. It's not going to be a struggle for them to try and shoehorn him into something. And he just plays a slightly different role for his nation compared to what he has done at club level. And again, his club, he's been in and out of form this season, but there's every chance, like Silva, that he could make an impact on the world
stage.
Bring
it all together, the right time of year.
Exactly. So someone I think who's slightly under a radar potentially is Sardar Azmoun, who has had a very, very good qualifying campaign, as well as some big performances for his club side as well. He's one that could potentially make the difference for his nation, isn't he?
Yeah, so he scored 10 goals in qualifying, leading the line. He's fantastic in that role. Stretches defences, can finish.
Yeah.
Loves to run to the channels and just be an option for his team going forward.
Yeah, I mean, his goal record at international level as well is absolutely ridiculous. Not just at senior level, but at youth level as well. And he is only 23. So he has plenty of time ahead of him as well to just develop and grow. I mean, if you look at his stats on Football Manager, he's got a 14 for first touch, 12 for finishing. But it's the combination of those that make him so lethal for his nation. And I think that he is someone that the defences and the bigger teams in that group are going to have to really keep an eye on and really keep under control if they're going to see off a threat of his nation. His
team like to sit back, so he'll be that person that's the focal point up front, looking to stretch the defence and allow others to then move into that space behind him that he vacates and then can run on and give them an option to then play it back to him. So he'll be very important. Massively important. I think if his team is going to have any success in this tournament, it's going to be pretty much reliant on him, maybe a couple of others to try and lift them above what their pretty much expected finishing position would be. So I said there may be one or two others in that squad who may be able to lift them above their expected finishing position, and one of those is Reza Jahan, who's had nothing short of a stellar breakthrough season in Europe this season. He's been absolutely incredible. I mean, how many goals did he score? He scored 21 goals in Holland this season, 12 assists, pretty much has dominated the league the whole season. He's been incredible, absolutely incredible. I mean, I would say he's probably his nation's most technically gifted players. I think is that a fair assessment? Yeah, and he'll be that wide focal point that needs to link up with Azmoun to give them some sort of attacking threat, especially because they're going to be sitting back a lot of the time. It's the style they like to play. Yeah, but I mean, he's got all the tools that you need to play that sort of game as well. He's quite an all-rounder. He's got a bit of everything. He's got 15 for first touch according to FM. Technique is 15, but then he also mixes it out with agility of 15. He's off the ball is 15. So he's got the technical, physical, and mental attributes to try and create something special for his nation. And tactical. Knows what to be. He's probably going to float around a bit and be that roaming player that tries to bring everything together. Yeah, and I think that's going to be he's going to be a real focal point for them. And I think most of their attacks, if they're going to get the ball to Azmoun in the first place, they're going to have to go through him. So that's Group B out of the way. Now we're going to move on to Group C, and there's only one place we can start, really, isn't there? I mean, it's potentially it's going to be
the story of the tournament, I think. Kylian Mbappe. Now, I'm sure everyone out there knows about Kylian Mbappe. A couple of years ago, it probably wasn't the case, but says so much about how much he's developed over the past couple of seasons that he's now probably one of the leading stars for his nation.
Yeah, and he's probably a player of the tournament threat as well.
Yeah.
He'll definitely be a player pushing into the box, trying to score. And their group is not the easiest, but there are opportunities where he'll get to really force the issue goal-scoring wise.
And show what he can do. I mean, exactly. I mean, he's got everything already. He's so young. He's what, 19 years old, and he's already, he's a subject of a huge transfer deal. He's got dribbling of 17 according to FM, acceleration of 18, pace of 17. They're the sort of stats that you would expect to see on, one of the established world stars. And he's still got probably 10 years of development ahead of him. So it's frightening how much potential there is. And yeah, I mean, you said that his team have a lot of players to choose from. They've got quite a big pool of talent, but he is someone who just has that spark about him and can create something from nothing that a few players in that team probably can't do as well as him. And I think that's going to give him the edge. And as you say, he could well become the player of a tournament. Who knows?
And it's crazy. He's the second youngest player at the entire tournament. There's only one player younger than him. And for the fact that his country are going to lean on him a lot as a goal-scoring threat, even though they have such a wealth of attacking talents. But he's a premier player. He's proven already in Europe that he can do a job in big games. So I don't think that being at this tournament is going to phase him in any way.
No.
Especially pushing from the wing into the box. He's done it all season at club level. He'll play the same role here. He'll be comfortable. And so I expect him to have a really, really strong tournament.
It's his time to shine. Right, so we talked about Mbappe, but now we've got to move on to talk about the players who are going to have the very, very difficult job of trying to outshine him in that group. But one player I think could do that, at least be the leading light for his team, and that's Pione Sisto, who has pretty much a free rein to get forward and really, really be the driving force for his nation.
Yeah, since he's moved to Spain, he's just been fantastic. And speed, dribbling, stretching defences is really his game. He'll look to be played through, get in behind defences and damage in that way.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned his speed. I mean, 16 for acceleration, 13 for pace. So he's quick over a really, really short distance, which could be crucial for helping them get balls into the box and into threatening positions. He's got 17 for technique, 17 for long shots as well. So we've seen him in the past score some big goals. So especially at European level as well.
Yeah.
So he has got that ability. 16 for dribbling. So he really has got the close control and technical skill that could really, really be pivotal for his team's chances. Behind the top team in that group, it's pretty even. I mean, there's not a lot between the three other teams in the group.
And I'm expecting some open games between those three teams as well. So that's another chance for him to really shine and take advantage of some more attacking teams.
I think probably they're marginal favourites for that second spot.
Yeah, probably.
But it's going to need performances from someone like Sisto to really make that happen and see them into the last 16. So the next player we're going to look at, Edison Flores. Now, he's someone who has all the skills necessary to really be the attacking focus for his team. And he's going to look to really move forward from a central position, try and deliver that final ball through to the strikers to get them the goal that they need to win the match. And he's done that recently as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, so he will be really important in the way his nation transition from defence through midfield into attack. They like to transition quickly. They like to play 1-2s, and that's one of the main things that he'll look to do in bring them into attack.
Yeah, I mean, and again, his stats show that as well. He's got 14 for passing, 15 for technique, 15 for vision. So he's got all the skill set to play that role and play it really, really well. And I think his goal record as well is pretty decent at international level. So he has the chance to try and get on the score sheet himself, which would also be a massive bonus to his team's chances. And I think he is going to be really, really crucial to his team's chances of progressing in the tournament, because if he's on fire and if he's performing, particularly as we said in those games against the teams that aren't fighting for second, aren't fancied to top the group, that someone like him is going to be massively important for them.
But he's also going to have a big defensive role as well, playing in a three-man midfield.
Yeah.
Balancing that ability to get forward and link midfield and attack with his obvious responsibilities that he's going to have defensively too.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility for him, and let's hope that for his team's sake that he's going to perform it to the best of his ability. So those are just a few of the players that we think will perform particularly well in Groups B and C. So there's plenty to keep an eye out for over the course of the next couple of days. And don't forget that Football Manager 2018 is available now on sale up to 66% off. So if you've seen anyone there you think you'd like to manage in your team, then go and grab it while you still can. And as well, keep an eye on the Football Manager Instagram channel, where we'll be giving away plenty of prizes over the coming days and weeks of the tournament. But that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 PM UK time. We'll be running through the best prospects in Group D. We'll see you then. If you want to find out more about any of the players featured in today's episode, then go and download FMDB, which is available now on iOS and Android.